Today, the guests, plural, are four of my students, Ayano, Chiyomi, Nina, and Sheena, who I have been teaching in a small class privately pretty much since about March. And through that time, they've shown me that they have some really good opinions about what it is that makes good online teaching. They were the ones that helped me learn the techniques that I have for online teaching. And in return, I gave them some good ideas for how it is that they can improve their English. This is a real win-win situation. It's a win-win situation for you too, because if you listen to the opinions these ladies are here to share, I think it can give you some interesting perspective on what you can do to become a better teacher, not just in ERT, but as a teacher overall. Also wanted to mention that we have changed our name to Dave and Jose Unmuted. And unmuted just kind of reflected the fact that unfiltered was a little bit of a tired word, and unmuted was a little bit more, it touched a little bit better on the idea that we are online teachers. And everybody knows what that unmute button, what the joke is for that, because we're having a t-shirt contest all based on that design. Hope you can participate in that t-shirt contest, the design of it, ideas for how we can make money for it, and the money for that will go towards other further projects that OTJ is working on. So enjoy today's podcast. Get a load of that t-shirt when it's finally produced. I hope you buy one, because then that'll help OTJ out so that we can help more teachers like yourself. Thanks very much. Enjoy. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to my guest host this morning. Cassie Guevara. Did I pronounce that right, by the way? Cassie Guevara?
I pronounce it Guevara.
Guevara? Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I mean, even Filipinos pronounce it multiple ways. So my family pronounces it Guevara.
Guevara. Okay. Well, also, too, you're from a different part of the Philippines than I am. And I can't decide what your pronunciation should or shouldn't be.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay. Anyway, thank you very much. I wanted you to join me because my four students are here this morning, and I wanted to bring them together and let them tell their story. And I thought it would be easier for them to tell their story to a fellow female. That and Dave couldn't make it today. I don't know. I think he's very busy with opening his new school. Reopening his school in Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I'm excited to be here.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Thank you. I'm sure you have a few questions about what this is all about.
I guess I'll start then. So first, I would like to ask all the ladies if you could tell us a little bit about this class. So for example, how did you know about it, and why did you decide to join it? Oh, I guess, should we start with Chiyomi then?
Yes. I'm a little different from other students because I was a student of Mr. Cruz when I was a university student. So it's about 10? About 10 years ago.
Wow.
I was a student. I already graduated, so I'm working. So, and when I went this year, I came to Canada, and I told Mr. Cruz that I am here in Canada, and my school is closed because of lockdown. So Mr. Cruz, he asked me to join the happy class. So I was happy to share my situation, or I can hear the real voice of just from your from students. So yeah, that's why I'm joining this class.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So sorry, I'll just call on the next person then, because I started with that trend. Ayano, what about you?
Okay, so when I was first grade, I met Mr. Cruz and I took his class. And after that, I took his class last year. Also, Sheena took the class, and we talked a lot of we talked about a lot of things, and we really want to improve English skills. So, and he taught us how 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 to improve English skill, and because of this situation, we couldn't take good English class. So just we studied
Okay,
this class.
I see. And so I know Chiyomi is a different case, but for Ayano, Sheena, and Nina, are you all university students right now?
Yes.
Okay. Are you, fourth year now? Second, third? Fourth years. Okay. Great. Thank you so much. Okay. I'm going in a circle on my Zoom screen. So how about Sheena?
Yes. Last year I was in USA. So I went to study abroad to USA, and I studied half a year, but I didn't satisfy my English skill. Then Mr. Cruz asked me to join class last year. Yes, and I joined the class with Ayano, and we did a lot of things like discussion or reading article. So I really enjoyed it. So this year's maybe February or March, he said he will start the online class in English. Then I joined it every Friday morning, and every Tuesday morning we did online class, and we did discussion, or sometimes we just talk about our situation. Yes, I really enjoyed it.
It started on Friday, and then because of my schedule, it had to move to a Tuesday. So it started on Friday, and I think we did that all the way until June or something. And then recently, towards the end of this semester, it moved to Tuesday because of my schedule. We only did it once a week, though.
Great, thank you, Sheena. And then Nina, do you have anything you'd like to add to all of that?
I joined us at maybe May. Also, I went abroad to New York, and I was surprised that my English skills in there, and I wanted to build up my English skills. So I talked to Ayano, and Ayano recommended me for this happy course, and shall we join us? Ayano said, so I joined you, and I think it is essential to speak for every week. So I'm glad to join you.
Awesome. Well, I'm really excited to meet such motivated students. So this is very exciting for me.
Just one thing, though, that I wanted to clarify. Not clarify, but I would like to add. This all began because Ayano and Sheena were in my class, that class that they described last year. And it was a very small class, just the two of them. So I spent a lot of time talking to them. And I realized that they would make really good people on my other website, Goldfish 365. So after that class was over, I said, well, why don't you guys record a couple of conversations for me? So I recorded a couple of conversations. And then from there, I said, okay, and now I'll here's your payment, and let me take you out to dinner. And so we went out to dinner and had a really nice dinner. And I found out that, we all got along on more than just, a teacher telling his students what to do kind of level. They revealed to me that they were capable of of relating to me in a way that helped me understand my classroom. They were able to say things like, well, I don't like this about the university, and I think this is better done this way. And I thought, well, these are pretty sharp ladies, and they're willing to speak to me honestly. So when the pandemic was really kicking in, March, I would say, I got back in touch with Ayano and Sheena. And I said, listen, why don't we get together? Because I need to learn how to use Zoom, and I need to learn how to teach online. And you guys are good students, and it will be easy to work with you, and you can study English for free. And I also remembered that Chiyomi had been planning for the longest time, ever since I knew her back, 10 years ago, had been saying, oh, I really want to do a homestay. I really want to do a homestay. And this is finally her chance to go do a homestay. Finally had a chance to go to Vancouver. And there she was going out to Vancouver in December, and people were already talking about this virus in China. And I thought, well, be careful. And so as she started going to Vancouver, I said goodbye to her here. I said, well, be careful about that virus. And when she arrives, the virus starts landing in North America. And of course, Japan at the same time. So everything shut down. And she told me, Chiyomi, well, we call her Chi. You should call her Chi too. Chi told me that, my school has stopped. They don't have any plans yet for what they're going to do. And I thought, wow, poor thing. She's gone off to Canada. She's spending all this money, and she's not going to study English. So I thought, hey, why don't you join us? The time difference, I think we can find one small window there where everybody can join. And Ayano spoke to Nina too, and Nina came back from New York, and the first few classes that she took with us, she had to take from her hotel room in Tokyo, because anyone who actually, I can say anyone now, but back then only Japanese people could come back into Japan. But anyone who comes back into Japan has to get into a hotel room for 2 weeks.
Wow.
Now, she was there
Right.
just bored and lonely, doing nothing. And then Ayano said, hey, why don't you join us and study English? That's how it all came together.
Oh, man. I didn't know about that part. So Nina, you were quarantined in the hotel for 2 weeks.
Yes.
Wow.
Boring for me.
Could you leave your room though? Or were you mostly in your room the whole time?
Mostly, but I couldn't these I couldn't eat my meals in the hotel, so I had to buy something outside. So yes, so it is meaningless, I think.
Yeah, so everyone had to stay there, but then they still went out to find food.
Yeah.
That's odd.
Yeah. I think the reason was they just didn't want them, because Nina was allowed back into the country because she didn't show any symptoms. So the idea, well, she's probably okay, but we don't want her to go back to her hometown. So what they wanted to do was get people to stay at least within Tokyo. Tokyo was already a hotspot. And the idea wasn't to completely lock down each individual, was to lock down the city and anyone coming into it. So she wouldn't go back to Kitakyushu. She wouldn't go back to her hometown in her prefecture and spread the virus from there, just in case she was asymptomatic. But it was just to lock down Tokyo. Not at the time, I think the lockdown was still just Tokyo. It wasn't, when Nina came back, the lockdown was only in Tokyo. The lockdown hadn't occurred all the way through the country yet. Anyway, why don't we go on, girls, to your prepared little statements that you've been working very hard on this week. And would you like to move on to there, or did you want to ask anything for Cassie or anything like that? Okay, then Ayano, why don't you start? We'll go in alphabetical order. We'll start with Ayano, and then Chi, and then Nina, and then Shi. now.
Okay.
Go.
So this semester was very different from what I have experienced because of COVID-19, but it was not only bad, but also had good points. Of course, it is very hard for me to study online. I found it is very important to me to take the class together with my friends, especially English class. This time I have English class where I've never met the other classmates, so I didn't know their faces, and also they never turned on the cameras, so I still don't know their faces, and yeah, I still don't know what they look like. I think it is very difficult to speak English without being face to face. English is a language, and I use languages when I communicate with people. I wanted to see their faces and I wanted to talk to them, but I couldn't. So at the end of the semester in the English class, I really used my brain. I didn't think about English grammar and what I talked about. At least I want to see the people who I talk to. But on the other hand, there are good points about online classes. I live in Fukuoka City now, and I usually go to school by highway bus. It takes about 2 hours one way, but now I don't have to go to school, so I could use that time. Usually when I have first period, I have to get up at 5, so I have to go to bed at 10. This semester, I don't mind what time I go to bed, so I could study until I was sleepy and help my mother do housework. And I could make the time to spend with my family, and it made me happy. I think online classes will widen student academic gap, because when you take classes at home, no one is watching, so you have to manage yourself. I could feel energy from the teacher when I was taking face-to-face classes. I know that teacher wants us to learn the things because he or she loves the study. And being able to feel that is a vital force for my own study. For me, online classes have both good and bad sides. I could get the chance to think about it in this situation. Thank you.
Thank you. Ayano, you're a teacher yourself too, right? You work at a cram school.
Yes.
What was that like, knowing that your university said, "Oh, for safety, you should stay home and you shouldn't be face to face"? But probably you started working again at the cram school. I think, if I remember properly, you started working there again around May.
Yes, but just start to face-to-face class is start January.
January?
No, June.
June.
Sorry.
Okay, June.
June. And so in May,
Mm-hmm.
we still use online class.
Mm-hmm.
So I use computer to teach English my student, but it's very hard. So I could know how hard my teachers teach English.
Cassie, did you want to ask a quick question?
So when you were teaching students online for your cram school, what software were you using? Did you use Zoom or Skype or something else?
Zoom. We use Zoom.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the students are like elementary, junior high school, high school?
Every grade, junior high school, elementary, junior high school, and high school. But some students couldn't use Zoom, and of course, also their parents couldn't use Zoom. So we sometimes missed the class, and I think missed the class 2 times or 3 times. So I was very sorry about that.
That reminds me now, I've sort of blocked it out of my mind. Maybe Cassie remembers too, the first few classes when nobody knew how to use Zoom, and you were still wondering if you were muted or if you weren't muted or not. Okay, let's keep going. Chi, your turn.
Yes. I'm. I will talk about my situation. Um, I have been in Vancouver for a working holiday since this March. The reason why I came here is that I want to improve my English more by living here, and I think I can experience authentic English in real life. Unfortunately, because of COVID, the lockdown started soon, and I had to quarantine for 2 weeks at my first homestay. And now I'm sharing a room with a roommate. Now, despite this hard situation, I'm able to explore Canada so far, meeting new people, work in a restaurant, and take some short trips in Canada. There are lots of Japanese restaurants in Vancouver, and I started to work at a sushi restaurant. Even though it's Japanese restaurant, my restaurant owner is Chinese, and most of the staff are Chinese, so I speak English with them. Because of my school closure, I can't go to school, so I'm struggling how to learn English these days. But this happy class, I can talk about my situation in Canada. Uh, we, we can discuss and talk and learn English with Ayano, Nina, and Sina, and it becomes my motivation app from my English study. Thank you.
Good. Cassie, did you want to ask a question?
So I'm not so familiar with the situation in Canada. I'm from the United States, and we all know that the United States is the number one country with the most COVID-19 cases. And but even in the United States, it really depends on which state or city you're in. As to how they're dealing with it. Like, for example, New York City had a very, very bad spike for a while, and they're actually being very strict and restricting a lot of things, and you can't eat in restaurants. And it's been like that for a while. They're trying really hard to control it, whereas other states, they say things like, oh, mask, I don't want to wear a mask. I have the freedom to not wear a mask, and they don't regulate it at all. So how are they dealing with COVID precautions or restrictions in Vancouver?
It's same as America. Canada is also like depends on the states. The situation is a little different in different other states, because Toronto, maybe in Canada, Toronto and Quebec City is more harder than Vancouver. So there is less people who wear masks in Vancouver, but in Toronto there is a like they have to wear mask. It's like forced to wear mask. But yeah, so Vancouver is a little like Vancouver has lots of nature and like park, beach. So yeah, a little like people are a little more like no stress than other city. And Vancouver is most fastest like open the restaurant. Yeah, so I could work in the restaurant. That's why. Yeah.
Chiomi went on a trip to the Okanagan.
Yeah.
And when she came back, I thought, I didn't really want you to do that, but she did that anyway. But it's a little bit more open, and it's not as dangerous as, yes, certainly as you said, Cassie. But still, there are cases. I think what is it now? You're still like 13 cases in all of British Columbia right now. Most of them are in Vancouver. Something like that, Chiomi? How many cases?
In British Columbia. Oh, I forgot.
I think about 13. 13.
Yes.
So
13
few.
every day. Yeah, very
Yeah,
few.
few. Yeah. Yeah. So British
Good.
Columbian people a little like,
But in
yeah.
Ontario, it'll be like
Ontario is so
150.
hard.
Yeah, about 10
Yeah.
times more. But then there's like 10 times more people in Ontario and about the same in
Mm.
Quebec too. So,
Mhm.
yeah, but still nowhere near America. Nowhere near it at all.
Well,
Yeah.
good. I mean, I hope it stays that way and gets better
Mm.
soon.
Mm. Okay,
Thank
Nina, your turn.
I would like to talk about my situation under COVID-19. In February, I went abroad to New York, but I decided to come back to Japan because of COVID-19. My school decided to change the system of classes to online. I could have stayed in New York, but I thought, why am I taking classes this way? I think the more important thing in studying abroad is to touch the culture and communicate with the people in person. And my school teaches about art, so classes aren't lectures. Those are practical classes. So those are practical classes. So if I take online classes, all I could do was watching videos and work only by myself. So I think it isn't valuable for me in New York. So I decided to get back to Japan. Actually, I took classes for only a week, so I don't know the current situation in New York. I'd like to add information from my friend in New York at my speech, so when I get it, I want to talk about it. Uh, my university in Japan also conduct online classes. I took one class and a seminar. The class is too boring for me because it is only watching videos and submitting assignments. I didn't feel like taking class. I didn't know other how the other classes were held. So maybe only the class made me that way. I think what if I could go to school every day? I could communicate with my friends and my teachers in person. The good point to take online classes is whenever I want to take it, I can do it. So if I can't take a class at the regular time, I can do it in my free time. We are all, we are able to contact each other at the same time in happy class and know each other's feelings by voices, faces, body language, so that is comfortable for me. If online classes change, this should be more suitable for students, I think. Thank you.
Nina, did you ever hear from your friend? Did you ever get a chance to get her to give you any of that information that you wanted to talk about?
Yeah. But I maybe she sleep well, so but I couldn't catch up with this class.
Mm.
So when I get the get information at other at other classes, I talk about it.
Okay. Cassie, where are you from again in the States?
I'm from a place called West Nyack in Rockland County, New York, which is right outside New York City in the
Okay,
suburbs.
well then Cassie can tell you about New York City, Nina. I mean, keeps up with
well,
it.
I don't know about the university situation there though. I just know that like my friends who are working in the city, pretty much most of the people I know have been able, because of their job, to work online. I don't know if that's true for like everyone. I'd have to look up, but most of my friends or family who are in the city have been working online for months and months. And like I said earlier, New York City is more strict about like going out and eating out. So you can do takeout and delivery, and that's been pretty common like the past few months. I know that across the United States, there are some schools that are trying to resume in-person classes from the fall, But I also know that there are several cases of clusters happening like within 2 weeks of starting the school year at universities. So there are some cases of universities sending all their students back home again after like 2 weeks, and then a lot of cases spiking. Yeah, so, and I'm not so familiar with like high school and below, but I see that there are some schools that are just open again, but it's really not a good situation for schools in the US.
Nina, do you have any plans to go back to New York, try again, to go to art school in New York?
I
I
want
think
to.
that's so cool. The fact that you
Yeah.
wanted to go to art school in New York. You sound so
Yeah.
bohemian. It's great.
Yes, I would like to go to abroad again, but I don't know next year's situation and the
Mhm.
COVID-19, so
Mhm.
I can't decide it clearly.
Mm, 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 mm. Well, Sheena, your turn.
So I will talk about this semester. I took an online class this semester. Through this semester, I found good points and bad points. And first, I will talk about good points. My university mostly did on demand, so students can choose good timing for them to take class. Also, students can watch on demand classes as much as students want. And the bad points are students could not say their opinion during class. In normal class, students can say their opinion and students can ask ask teacher ask teacher questions. But in on-demand class, students just watch the teacher's video, and if uh, and if students want to ask questions, we need to send email to teachers. And I had a funny experience. I took one English class where the teacher always uses Microsoft Teams, but she doesn't know how to use Teams well because she has never done online classes before. She wants us to mute our microphone during class, but so she controls them and she mutes us. But sometimes she asks us questions and we can't say the answer because we are muted. So we type an answer and send it in chat. We did our best, but the teacher got angry. She said, why doesn't anyone say anything? Are you ignoring me? She forgot she makes us mute and she doesn't notice we typed answers. It happened 3 times. That was funny, but it confused everyone. I think there are some good things and bad things. We need to understand and use them. But I feel I got very fun experience through this semester. Thank you.
Mm. Fun experience. So you thought this was overall this semester was a good semester for you, Sheena?
Yes, this semester was. It makes me confused because I've never take online class before, but it was fun. I got some fun experience through this semester, so I think this is good experience to take online class.
Okay, so everybody can unmute their microphones. There's a lot of us here, so we just have to be careful not to everybody talk at once. But I thought maybe if Cassie's okay with it, that we could just open this up, and of course everybody else, if we can open this up to just a big discussion about the general questions that we have.
Oh, can I start?
Sure. I was just about to say, why don't you start?
Before I forget. So right from Ayano's speech in the very beginning, I've had the same 2 questions that have stayed in my head as everyone talked, even Sheena. And with Sheena's funny story, I think that's hilarious because it is so common. even for when teachers are talking with each other on Zoom, like as we were starting the conversation today before we started recording, I start talking to Jose and my mute is still on, and I am already used to Zoom. So just imagining teachers who, all of us at the very beginning, or people who really are not comfortable at all with online technology, it was very stressful for a lot of people, but also kind of funny. Yeah, and so my question for all of you, this question is in the minds of a lot of teachers even now after teaching a full semester online. So there's two of them. One of them, cameras on or off, and some of you talked about that a little bit, which is better for you. The other question is live classes or on-demand classes, which is better for you? And I think everyone is different. I have some students who prefer live classes, others who really don't like it, and they tell me that in the survey they wish it was on demand so they can take it when they want. And as a teacher, I love having cameras on because, as you say, it's easier to communicate when you can see each other and you can know each other's faces and see the gestures. And I also like I like live classes because, right, they can say their opinions and ask me questions. I can ask them questions very quickly without the email. But I really think different students have different learning styles. So you guys are a special case maybe because you are all taking this live class online with video on every week. So maybe can you share your opinions about those two things, or talk about what you think your classmates might feel if they have a different opinion from you?
Can I say my opinion?
Yes,
So,
please.
I prefer live class because we can make conversation during class. But I like live class, but I'm taking other class like university class, and we have to turn on our camera. But teacher look us, and teacher says your room is messy or your laundry is not done. And the teacher says our room. So we are just talk each other, but she care our room like messy or so. She said to the boy students, your room is messy and your laundry is on your bed. So you have to fold it, and yes, you have to keep clean your room. So I love like online live class, but I don't like that kind of things. So I didn't turn on my camera in that class.
And that teacher was wondering all the time, why don't the students turn on their cameras?
Yes.
You know, I wonder if part of it is because the teacher is also kind of bored. Like the teacher is also in their own home all the time. So it's very exciting to see something. But it's embarrassing if they want to comment about it. Like I have a mess over there and I'm trying to like fix it. So no one can say anything. But I admit I have commented on one student's room before because she had a very cute collection of like Disney stuffed animals next to her or behind her. So I couldn't help it. I was like, oh, that's very cute. But I also had students with laundry or clothes in the back. I would never say that. So I wonder, maybe some teachers have to be reminded that it's embarrassing for students.
Well, they can watch this podcast. Chiomi,
Thank you, Sheena.
Yeah, Chiomi, what did you think?
Yeah, I think I prefer to speak with video because if when I speak English or when I listen English, I want to see their mouth or like I want to see how they speak in English or something. So yes, and also, but yeah, sometimes I'm embarrassed to show my room or something messy things, but I can like you can everyone can change wallpaper maybe. So like eh, if uh, if someone don't want to show the room, you can change. The Zoom has like kind of like
Virtual backgrounds.
this virtual yeah, but has virtual background, so it's not big problem I think. Yeah, and I also prefer the live because if they live in different country, it's a little difficult because yeah, time lag. So, but in Japan or in same country, it's easy to like adjust the time. So yeah, maybe I want to like speak same times like on the not on demand live.
Mm, mm.
Yes, and I want to like question ask questions soon, and I can I don't forget. So yes, I think
Nina,
so.
what about you?
I I like the live class.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good at speak English, so I guess your feelings by faces or of the voice and body language. So if I take the live class, I can see everyone's faces or body language. So I like to take class live. Not take. I like to take live class.
Were there a lot of live classes for you, Nina? How many classes did you have at the university this semester
One
total?
one class is live.
And how
Class.
many total did you have?
Two.
Oh, you
One
had a,
one is seminar and one is on demand.
so you had only two classes this semester. And the seminar class was the live class with
Yes.
Zoom.
No, Teams.
Teams, sorry, Teams. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Ayano, you're going to go next. How many classes did you have this semester?
All class?
Yeah, total.
Total. Okay. I think I took 5 classes.
5. How many were on Zoom or Teams?
Every class.
All of them.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, how about you? Live classes, on demand versus live and cameras. What do you think?
Okay. I took 2 on-demand classes. I took 2.
Oh, okay. She took 2. Okay.
Yeah, and I listened to the class at double speed because it's very comfortable for me. But when I took the final exam, I found I couldn't understand anything about that class because of course I listened it at to double speed. So for me, live class is better. But I took exercise class, and that class couldn't live because the teacher couldn't see everyone what's going on, what doing. So just he posted how 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 to exercise, how to do.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and we just watching that video. So I think each of class have best type. But I think
An exercise class. You mean like
PE.
yeah.
yeah. You're doing PE in fourth year?
So I have to take, so in Japan, if we want to take teaching license, we should take PE class. But when I was first grade, my leg is blocked.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, so I couldn't take that class. So, and second year, third year, I just, yeah.
You didn't take it in second year or third year, so now you have to take it in your fourth year.
Yes.
Okay, all right. That's interesting.
That's so interesting to me. So how do your gym teachers know if you're really doing the exercise or not?
So half of class, he just teach how we calculate our
Pulse.
pulse.
Pulse. P-U-L-S-E. Pulse.
Yes, pulse.
Or
And
like blood pressure?
yes, and how to help the people who want to help that rescue, how to rescue. And half of the class, how to exercise, how to work out. And just we type, oh, it's really hard for me. And we did 30 times push.
Oh, sit-ups.
Sit up, yeah. And just we typed the, what?
You wrote an essay?
Yes, yes.
Oh, you made a report. You made a report.
Report.
I did 30 sit-ups. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. You can have an ice cream bar in one hand and type,
Yes.
I did 30 sit-ups. Yeah. All right. I want to ask you girls a question. If there was one thing, now Chiyomi, that might be harder for you to think about, but you can also think about your English school. If there was one thing that you could ask the university, let's say that this situation continues, and it will in October, it will continue. What would you like to ask your university to change in its policy from April to October? Something that the university did that you thought, you know, I'm not sure about that. I would like that to change for whatever reason. And maybe think about the reason too. But is there something that you would like the university to change about its policy or its rules or its systems? Even something like, for example, I think the library is open now at our university, but some universities don't even have the library open, or some universities don't allow certain buildings to be used. Things like anything that you can think of. I'm just making suggestions. What would you like to change? I want to go with Nina first because she actually has to go a little bit earlier than the others. I want to make sure she has a chance to answer this question. Nina, is there something that you would like the university to change this coming semester?
Small classes is live, in person. We can meet in person in small class. I think it is okay for me because seminar was live class and everyone turned off the camera, and all I have to do is only listening others presentation. So I think everyone was maybe boring.
Bored?
Bored, yes. And when I finished my speech or presentation, nobody asked me. So I think everyone didn't hear my presentation. But if I can take the class in person, I can see everyone. So it was made me more positive or
Active.
active. Yes. So small classes conducted in person is good for me.
When you say small, what does that mean to you? What is that number? Between
Number,
5 and 10? Between 5 and 10, what is
yeah,
small?
5 or 10 people in class
Mm.
is, I mean, small.
Okay. Okay, Chiyomi, how do you answer that question?
It's a long time ago since I was taking a class in school.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel when I taking this happy class, 1 hour is like so fast. Like when I was taking class in school, like so like I don't know, but the school time like in university, 1 hour or 1 hour and a half. But I feel 2 hours is so fast when I taking this class. So maybe they can change the time, like depends on the class. Like for example, when Nina was saying that presentation class, like
Mm-hmm.
the class like held more long time or so like that. So time is a little different, became different because of yeah, person in person or face to face or online.
Mm.
I think.
By the way, I haven't explained this,
Mm,
Cassie, but the name, I gave this
mm,
class a name just so then I could refer to it on Facebook and I can say, come to my class, and I don't have to say my class all the time. I actually named it Happy Class. And I really don't know why that came out. But like when I was making the line group, I thought, what am I going to call this? And I thought, okay, let's call this Happy. And just because,
happy class.
because everybody was so depressed back in March, and I called this Happy. And then eventually the name of the class just became Happy Class.
I
And
like it.
what?
I like it.
You like it? Okay, good. Sheena, you're next. What would you like to have changed?
This is not about class, but I was doing job hunting this year,
Mm-hmm.
and usually we can go to the support center to job hunting, and we can do the practice for like job interview or how to write resume. But this year we couldn't go to school, university, and we can't come into university, so we have to make appointment, and we just call and doing practice. So we there are some manner to take job interview, like how to sit and when sit or something like that, but we couldn't practice, and we just call, but I couldn't take appointment because everyone want to practice.
Right.
So this year I couldn't do practice with university's support center, and I couldn't practice how to write resume. So I did it by myself, and my friends who could take appointment teach me how to write resume. So
Mm.
maybe I think like some when to practice to job interview, we can go come into school or something. I want to change policy. Do for example, do practice at outside and make 2 meters social distance and do practice or something. So only phone call is not enough, I felt. So if university change policy, I want to ask about this.
The University Career Center didn't use Zoom or Teams to do any large classes for the practices. It was all on the phone,
Yes,
on the telephone.
yes.
You
Uh,
had to call them or they called you? When the telephone call was made, Who made the call? Did you call the school or did the school call you?
Oh, at first we called the career center to make appointment.
Right.
If we could make appointment, the career center call
Okay,
us.
good. Okay, good. Because I was wondering if the school took into account the idea that, yeah, you have to call to make an appointment, that I understand. But if you have to make the call to the school, that means that the kids who have only cell phones, that entire call, that entire 30-minute or 20-minute call will be on the cost of their cell phone. But that's not the case, so that's good. But I'm very surprised the university didn't use any Teams or Zoom to do that.
For me, actually, I think many people from outside Japan who live in Japan think this, but despite Japan being one of the most supposedly technologically advanced countries with robots and advanced toilets with heated seats and bidets and things like that, you know, everyone knows Japanese, you know, technology brand names. But then when it comes to computers and the internet and, you know, practical things like having an interview with video chat, or taking classes online, I feel like Japan was one of the, you know, slowest, you know, first world countries to get everyone used to, yeah, like video chatting for school or for work. I'm not sure if I said that well, but
No, you did. You did. Don't worry.
I have had like Skype interviews using, you know, the internet and video chat for different things since like a long time ago.
Yep.
Well, when I was in college, you know, interviews on Skype were definitely already a major thing. But I know that in Japan, yeah, even now, I guess, most companies still want you to come in person. Is that right? Okay. So that's interesting, but not surprising, I guess.
Ayano, you get your turn now. You have an interesting situation because you're not just a student, you're a teacher. So you can talk about, you know, the policies, not just at the school where you're a student, but maybe, you know, if you want to talk a bit about what you saw at your own workplace, that's fine too. But mostly about what would you like the university to change if you could?
First, I don't want to pay the facility cost.
The what cost?
Facility.
The facility cost?
Yeah, because this semester we didn't go to school and we didn't use that any kind of facility, but we should pay that.
Yep.
Too. So I feel like we just throw away the money.
Yep.
And if we pay that cost, university have the should give us something
In return.
Yeah, return that something. For example, good Wi-Fi that I want to get that. And yeah, and but we already postgrad, 3 of us. But I'm very sorry about first grade students.
Right. Yeah.
I saw some news about the first grade student in university, and they very lonely. They lived near university, but they haven't met the new friend, and they just go to the part-time jobs and go back to house and just every day continue that kind of daily life. So some students won't quit that university, but if they tell that to university say don't do that. But I think we couldn't say don't do that to them because I'm so I'm thinking about that. What can we do for them? I mean, first grade student.
I think that's a question I'd like to pursue, but just very quickly for your information. You probably know this because you're going to be working at a Japanese company soon yourself. But most Japanese companies, if you come from a different city or from a far enough away place within the city, 20 kilometers, 10 kilometers away, when you come to work, the workplace usually gives you a small amount of money for the cost of the travel. And we at university, university teachers also get, or usually got paid that small amount. That small amount has disappeared from a lot of university teachers' income because the university says, and you know, this is their reasoning, well, you don't come to work anymore. You're staying at home and you can teach from home, so we don't have to pay you the cost of travel. So guess who gets to keep the cost of travel? Guess who gets to keep the cost of facility fees? The university. The university also no longer pays to keep the electricity and the air conditioning on this summer through the classrooms. But guess who had to pay for his own lights and his own air conditioner? And I bought a new computer. A lot of university teachers also ended up having to buy new computers. Some bought new microphones. And just like you wish that you had better Wi-Fi. These are all things that I think the university at least should begin considering, and I hope that they do. Yeah, I don't want to get into a rant because I'm gonna start going, oh, the university do that. Don't let me do that. Cassie, what did you
I'll
want?
jump in then.
Yeah, okay, she will.
Yeah, that makes me kind of angry or frustrated to hear that universities will, sorry, this is the
This is
teacher
her rant.
perspective,
Yeah.
the teacher perspective, and then I will bring it back to the student perspective. But it makes me annoyed to hear that the university will stop paying people their transportation fee because of, yes, we have also had to buy a lot of our own new equipment. I bought an external monitor there and a desk. It's actually an adjustable standing desk, so I can stand when I'm teaching and then put it down when I'm marking. And so yes, and I also bought a pocket Wi-Fi, which is faster than my apartment's internet. So I feel like teachers and students do need some kind of financial support for all of the costs that we have had because of having to move online. Even if we're not taking the train anymore, right, utilities and technology. And I have two schools. One school, they made everything, you know, a live class using Zoom with cameras on. They decided that right away. And then they loaned or they lent laptop computers to students who didn't have one already. And I thought that was amazing. I feel like maybe there are a few who are taking their classes online on their phones the whole semester, but
Yeah.
most students at this school got a laptop if they didn't already have one. Whereas my other school, every student was different. Like most freshmen, and going back to the whole freshman, first years thing, I teach mostly freshmen at this school. And most of my first year students were taking class from a cell phone the entire semester, even though I wanted to use Zoom and Microsoft Teams and everything. And I just thought that was nuts. I was like, if you have the resources or if you can use a computer in your house, that would be better. But it's hard because it costs a lot of money. So I feel like I wanted that school to help the students get faster internet and get a laptop computer if they didn't already have one. Yeah, I almost got into a rant, but
Yeah, good. Nice. The teachers have good self-control. Cassie, did you have another question for the ladies?
So I guess I wanted to ask about everyone's experience learning or getting used to all of the new like systems and technologies, websites, or applications that you had to use for your classes. So what did you use? And did the teachers teach you to use it? Did you have to teach yourselves? And how did you feel about everything? So what's your experience with the apps and things like that?
I use the Teams with Teams at my seminar, and my first using good Teams is the class, and I can join the seminar, but most everyone can join class with Teams, but we don't know how we don't know how they can't join us. And Sheena and I contact with each other, and I can't join when I can't join class. I contact Sheena and invite me, but and then I can join Teams, but everyone can join Teams without invitation. Yes, so it is difficult for us to join Teams. Yes, I think Zoom is more useful for me.
Easier?
Yes, joining is easier for me, but it's difficult to join, I think.
Okay. I know that I made a class on Teams for each of my 9 different classes at the school. I had to send each class a link for the class on Teams. So everyone had to click on that link to get permission to join Teams. And I know that I made many channels, but maybe sometimes students didn't know what to do or where to go on Teams at first. But I guess, maybe different teachers use it differently. So I see.
Nina probably doesn't have much more time, so I'm going to ask you first, Nina, but this is one of the questions that I wanted to ask while everybody was here. And probably even after you leave, Nina, we'll stay a few minutes, but I wanted to have everyone answer this one question. So Nina, you're going to go first, so think of your answer quickly. What would you like to tell your teachers after this experience from May to, I guess, middle of August for our unit? Almost said the name. Well, not that, it's going to be hard to guess because most people know where I live. But what would you like to tell your teachers? And could be good, could be bad. What would you like to tell the teachers out of your experience from this May to August? What would you like to give them as advice, or what would you like to say to them? Nina, can you go first on that one?
Teacher say anything about using Teams or something using Zooms, but teacher isn't good at using software or laptop, so we are confused to teach to tell how to using app. But so everyone first time using for everyone, so everyone didn't know the problem.
Right.
Yes, so I think using yes. I would like to teach how to using app, but university didn't that. So I was confused that.
So you wanted the teachers and you wanted the university to give you some training in how to use these
Yes.
applications. Okay.
And I guess that for you, it's probably better if that training is in Japanese, or would you be okay if it's in English too?
Japanese.
Yeah, I know some teachers have a policy. If they're a native English speaker, they want to speak all in English. But then maybe for something like this, students need, support in Japanese to figure out an application. Yeah, so.
Sheena and Nina and Ayana will tell you that I generally teach in Japanese, even
Really?
before the pandemic. Oh, yeah. Even when it was an English class, I was teaching in Japanese, but when they spoke to each other, generally, although their class was a little bit different. When they were first year students, they were speaking and writing. They were in my speaking and writing class, but my policy is that I'll speak Japanese and you'll speak English. Ayano, what would you like to say to your teachers?
First, I want to talk to teacher more. So most of teacher, of course, I know I could know how hard to use Zoom or some app, but it's really good time to talk, to use online class, because if we take face-to-face class, there are a lot of students and we couldn't talk to teacher very personal. So impersonal.
We couldn't speak to the teachers on personal topics?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Bye, Nina.
Bye, Nina. Thanks
Take
for coming
care.
today. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay. We'll talk to you on
Bye.
Tuesday.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, Ayano, go ahead. You couldn't talk to the teachers about personal, or, okay, let me get this straight. You wanted to talk to the teacher about Ayano, your own personal issues?
not about me, but for example, about more detailed question, I want to ask the question, or I want to hear that more explain about the study.
Oh.
So it is very easy to ask teacher if we use online. So, but some teacher just record the video and just post it. I mean, on-demand class. So
Right.
I want the teacher to be held the live class.
Right.
Yes.
Maybe if there are teachers who do the on-demand classes, they could have like an office hours, like a time where they can be contacted for a live question in time. I know that I have some students who would private message me on Teams at like 11:30 at night or past midnight, and I get a notification. Oh, why are they trying to chat with me now? Some student tried to call me on with the call function on Teams, like randomly with no warning. So that kind of scared me. Like, oh no. But yeah, it would be good if you can talk to all your teachers at a certain time using video chat.
I think at a certain point, human beings, especially when they're nervous or they're frustrated or they're very, they need to to get clarification on a particular question that's in their head, even though they know it's an on-demand class from the teacher or from the student. As human beings, our first instinct is, I need information on this question. I have to speak to that person. And especially when you're a student who's only 18 years old or 19 years old, you think, well, the teacher gave me this function in that software, and I really need to ask that question. So they're going to forget about things like, well, yeah, but it's 3 o'clock in the morning. So should you wait until the morning, the real morning, to ask that question? It's just our nature, I think, as human beings. Right? Chiyomi, what do you think? You're in a different situation, but what would you like to tell the
Yeah.
school or teachers?
About online is okay.
Well, your
Uh,
experience,
yeah,
you didn't
yeah,
really have online classes except for a happy class. So, if you want to talk
yeah,
about that, that's fine. But anything from your experience.
yeah. I actually don't take online lesson because I don't want to take online change to online because it's ESL. My ESL, my situation in Vancouver is I want it's English. I want to like meet international students in here like that. So I postponed and I because it was also so expensive. I paid lots of money to ESL school, but like online lesson is everyone say it's look like YouTube. But this happy class, less people, so I can talk and Mr. Cruz lead us, so we all can talk and discuss well. And also I found that this online lesson has like breaking the room.
Breakout,
We breakout
breakout room. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, no breaking.
It's
Yeah, we were using breakout
breakout
room,
room. Yeah.
breakout room. So if we like go to breakout room, we talk with the students uh, together and discuss together. So it's I didn't expect that we can do online lessons. So like look like real lesson. So it's nice. And so also from maybe I think the online lesson continue after this situation getting better, but not only face-to-face online lesson will be continue. So like the students have to lead conscience like teacher.
Hmm.
Like so, I think it solved the problem that like not passive English.
Yeah. So you want for more active
Mm.
English.
Yeah, more active. Yeah,
I just
more
thought of a
active
suggestion.
option.
I just thought of a suggestion for you. Now that your school, the school that you chose in Vancouver, has done some online lessons already, and I know that you didn't want to do them, but you just said that some people were saying, "Oh, it's just like YouTube." I think some of
Yeah.
those people gave you the idea that those online lessons would be like what Sheena and Ayano did as on-demand classes. But if you
Mhm.
go to school and you tell them, could you at least show me a recording of what the teacher did and let me join 1 or 2 of these classes, maybe I will take an online class. Right now, you don't want to do an online class because you think that it won't be as good as a face-to-face class. But really, some teachers can conduct an online class really, really well. And in some
Mhm.
cases, it's almost as good as a face-to-face class. If you go to the school and you tell them, show me a sample of what your teachers do in their online Zoom classes, and it will help me make a decision.
Mm. Yes, I think it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe my school also getting better than first time. So
I
I'm
think you
curious.
can't
Yeah.
help it. I know definitely I'm a way better teacher now than I was in May.
Mhm.
I know
Yeah.
what to do. I know what to expect. I know how to relate to students a bit better. Cassie, don't you think that, the experience has made you a bit better doing your
Um,
online?
I I have seen this all as a big challenge, but in a way, it was also very exciting for me probably more than other teachers. There are some teachers who have had like emotional breakdowns from the stress and being overwhelmed. I'm sure students too, but I thought that this was a really good way for me to pick up skills with technology and teaching that I just never would have needed before. So in a way, I'm grateful to have this experience. So now that I know that, oh, I can do it online and in person. So that's been a positive thing for me. And Jose's point about students being able to ask schools for a sample of what it could be like, that was really interesting for me because usually for high school students, they have open campus and
Yeah.
teachers are often asked to do a demo lesson. And I know for a fact that a lot of things like open campus have been canceled. And teachers who would be asked to come in and do a demo lesson, maybe they just didn't have to anymore. So maybe the school could ask teachers to record some sort of demo online lesson. But I guess they would probably need some volunteer students to know what it's really like as they're recording
Well,
online.
they have my students. If anybody wants to see our recordings, if the girls let me, I would. I'm sorry, the ladies. I shouldn't say girls. That's not politically correct. If the ladies let me, then I would be very happy to show people how I teach. Sheena, your turn. What would you like to say to your teachers?
I like online class. It was fun, but I didn't satisfied because the teacher said they can't do class 1 hour and a half. The normal class is 90 minutes, but in online class they can't do 90 minutes. So the most of the on-demand most of teacher who use on-demand, their recording video was maybe 50 minutes to 80 minutes.
50 minutes?
Yes.
50. Okay.
Yes. So I don't know why they can't do class 90 minutes online class but I don't know why, but they did. And I took 8 class this semester, and I had 4 exams, and it was so fun, so easy. It was too easy because we can use iPhone or we can Google it if I don't know. So it was too easy, and I didn't feel like I took class this semester. I just submit all homework and I just watch video. I feel like that. So I like the exams week because it was so hard and I studied a lot. But
Did you say you like exam week?
yes,
You liked exam week.
yes.
You mean you liked exam week even before the pandemic?
I like the normal exams week.
You liked that?
Yes.
You're weird. You never told me that. Okay, I'm sorry. Keep going.
I like that busy week, like take class and do study till midnight and take exams. I like it, but this semester I didn't do that because I just searched it on internet. So I didn't satisfy this semester. So if next semester is almost on demand online class. So maybe I want to take normal exams next semester.
If I ever get a company, I want all of my employees to be just like you. And I want you to be the first employee because somebody who actually likes exam week because it makes them busy and it makes them study until 12 o'clock at night. That's a rare person. Cassie, you get the, oh, sorry, Sheena, did you want to? No, okay. Cassie, you get the last question then.
I know Jose gave me a warning that I'd get the last question, but they really answered all of the big questions that I've had.
Okay, how about I throw out this one then, because I asked you to come up with a question because I don't have that many more. For Chiomi, and Nina's not here, but for Chiomi, Ayano, and Sheena, what would you like to ask each other? You know, your fellow students, and you've known each other, you know, definitely Sheena and Ayano, you've known each other now for a few years through this pandemic, through this situation, or even through Happy Class. What would you like to ask each other that, you know, will be recorded on this podcast, or something that you would like to have answered here? What would you like to ask each other?
Through this, we start March, maybe Happy Class starts maybe March or February. We did 6 months to take class every 1 day a week.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I felt very nervous.
Really?
Yes.
That's so cute.
You didn't record it, but I was so nervous, and if I say my opinion, my heart was
Beating really fast.
beating really fast, and I don't have confidence to speak English. So and now I'm getting used to speak English with everyone and do discussion. But did you feel nervous at first? And you feel comfortable to speak English now?
Actually, I'm already one online lesson. This class is only my online lesson. So I was nervous because you guys are now student. I'm not like student. I was a little feel old, and I didn't go. I don't remember my school life, like university life. So I was really nervous. And also when I start this online lesson, like. Compared to Vancouver, here only Japanese students, right? So I maybe you guys remember that I sometimes use Japanese like like suddenly
Mm-hmm.
I use Japanese like
Mm-hmm.
but now I didn't speak I don't speak Japanese at all when we were talk without Mr. Quiz when we discussed. I didn't use, so maybe I'm used to like speaking English with Japanese students and this online lesson. Like if it's like real class in classroom, maybe I will speak Japanese because if friends, students sitting on next to me, maybe I think so. Online lesson is a little feel far, so I have to speak English. I shouldn't speak Japanese like that. I feel that. Yeah. Do you think so? I didn't use Japanese at all to you. I think maybe.
Ayano, did you have? Oh, sorry.
I'm very impressed. This is only my second time meeting everyone here. We had like a short meeting last week, but I haven't heard any Japanese at all. And it's really funny because sometimes I almost want to say something in Japanese, just out of habit, because I've been living here for a long time, and then I have to stop myself. So really great job, everyone.
Yeah. This is why I don't mind telling people on online teaching Japan, listen, if you want to come and practice a technique, if you want to try learning softly what it's like to teach online, I'm perfectly happy to, you know, if you just tell me that you'd like to do that, let you come in and try your first online lessons with my ladies. And I think a few, let's see, Christian and Brick and was it Linda? Yeah, no, not Linda. Louise and a few people came And the you know the ladies were so accommodating by letting these teachers come and try with them.
You guys are superstars.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Ayano, did you want to ask? Did you want to answer Sheena's?
Me.
Yeah, about being
Okay.
nervous.
So first, a little bit nervous because I didn't use English. I mean, I didn't speak English in my daily life, but I know Sheena, Nina, and Mr. Cruz, and when I first met Chi in online class, you very, very powerful. So I was very relieved, and because of this class, I'm not nervous to speak English anymore. So in English class, the other English class, no one speak and talk to teacher in English. So I just only one student speak
Wow.
and talk. So thank you, everyone.
Yay.
Chi or Ayano, did you have your own question for your friends? If you don't, you don't. But if you do,
So recently, I really worry about my future in this situation.
Mhm.
It's not clearly, but sometimes that worried feeling that I'm really scared. So but Sina already decided that new work, and she decide also your future, right?
Oh yes. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm thinking.
So
Yeah.
how do I solve that feeling?
Cassie, they're gonna get me next week, so they're only gonna get you today.
This is a deep question because this situation is something that many people, especially your age, like just have never experienced in your lifetime, and even in my lifetime, and maybe Jose's lifetime. This is like a whole global pandemic, right? Probably one of the biggest things to happen since World War II. And so there's a lot of uncertainty all over the world, in everyone, because none of us know. We can't really see what's going to happen, you know, even within the next few weeks. So I feel like a lot of people are kind of in like an emergency mode, like survival mode, right? We're kind of more living in the present maybe than we were before because we cannot plan for the far future or even the near future as well as we could before. Everything is just uncertain. So I just want to say that it's very normal to feel like that, and unfortunately we just don't know what's going to happen. So don't be hard on yourself,
Right.
is what I would say. And even if you need to take your time, that is perfectly fine. Just take as much time as you need. There's no rush, there's no hurry. And when things get better, more opportunities will come and you'll be able to find what's there and maybe what you want. So yeah, I can't say don't worry, but I can say be kind to yourself. And this is
good advice.
this is a hard conversation.
No, it's good advice. Girl, keep calling you girls. Ladies, do you remember, I think it was last week or it might have been 2 weeks ago. You can look in the chat because I'm going to give you something in the chat right now. So look in the chat. Do you remember that quote that I told you about from John Lennon? It's from his song, Beautiful Boy. And I gave you this quote, and it goes, "Life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans." And just as Cassie said, it's not unnatural to worry. It's perfectly natural to worry. But and it's hard when you're only 21, 22 years old, because you don't see the patterns that are emerging about how some things just aren't that predictable. And that's what John Lennon was trying to say to his son, Julian, when he was growing up. Or actually, he was a little baby at the time. He was saying this at his bedside. And for you, Ayano, specifically, I think before I gave you all a little bit of advice, is that don't worry so much that you're in a situation where you know exactly what's going to happen. Try to worry more, or if you're going to worry at all, try to think more about what you can do to prepare yourself for whatever might come next. And part of that is becoming the best person that you can be. And part of that, of course, is knowledge, and that's why you're at university. You try to learn things, you try to train yourself. You can see that technology is going to be very important in the future, so learn lots of things that are good for technology. Learn more about computers. Wouldn't even hurt you, because there are now a lot of places where you can learn computer coding for free, writing software programs. You can learn these things for free. There are lots of places where if you look, you will find other people that are willing to help you if you're willing to help yourself. So you build up your base of knowledge, but also to remember that knowledge and wealth are just two very, I want to say unimportant, but less important things. The things that make us human. And that is our relationships with each other. Go back and reinforce your relationships with your friends. Reinforce your relationships with your family. Tell your family that you're grateful, that you're happy that they're there, and tell them that they can rely on you. And then they will feel much more comfortable telling you that you can rely on them. Try to make yourself the best person that you can be in terms of how you care about others. And most importantly, how you look at the situations that will come. Are they just going to make you worry and make you anxious? Or are you going to look at them as opportunities for change in the way that you want the world to become? The world isn't the way that you like it, for whatever reason. But you always have to keep looking at things that cause change as a way for you to take that change and put it in the direction that you want. And that's kind of what I did this whole semester. I saw all of these things happening, and I thought, there's going to be a lot of change. A lot of people are going to be looking for help. And I can, yeah, it sounds a little bit selfish, but I can take what I see and I can move it into the direction that I like. And generally, I think I've succeeded. I've done the things that I wanted to do. Cassie has seen some of the things that, with the help of a lot of really good people, I think that OTJ has achieved, and I'm glad to have been part of that. So Ayano, when you think about what's in your future, try not to think about it so much about what should be decided and what you can rely on, and think more about how you can rely on yourself and the things that you can change within yourself, because whatever gets decided will be decided only for the next few years. Sorry to say this to Sheena, but that job, I don't know, it'll be stable, but life will change in the next 3 or 4 years. Chiomi had a beautiful plan to go finally save up all that money, go to Canada, study English, and then take it from there. And life threw an incredible set of changes at her. You have to be ready for them. They will come. Don't worry. That's one thing you don't have to worry about. Change will come. And you just have to be prepared for the change. And don't seek the stable path. There is no stable path. instead think about making yourself ready for whatever change comes your way. Okay?
Okay.
And
Okay.
don't forget to do, in the meantime, don't forget to do what makes you happy. I don't even know what your hobbies are yet. We haven't really talked about it, but maybe we can't go into a lot of crowded areas right now with a lot of people, but find things that will make you happy and keep doing them. Make time for them. If you, even if you're feeling bad, if you know you enjoy something, make sure you go and do it.
Did you guys ever ask me about this poster behind me?
No.
Okay,
Oh, no.
because I never planned for this pandemic to be an opportunity to tell people about this poster. It's a poster that I like, and I actually just hung it behind me in 2017. But then it turned out that because of the way the computer was placed on my desk and the way that the camera was on, this was always my background for all of my classes. So here's a little homework for you for next Tuesday, and I hope Nina will see this. The name of this poster is the Holstein Manifesto, and I'm going to put it up there when we put this on the podcast. It's called the Holstein Manifesto, Holstee. And go ahead and read it. It's on the internet. It's relatively famous because a lot of people have this poster. Read it. And when Cassie gives you that great advice about making sure you're happy, it's a good place to start. Understand everything that poster is saying. And I don't want to sound like an advertisement for the poster, but Cassie, have you ever heard of the Holstein Manifesto? Do you know this poster? Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I'll check it out because the ladies are already checking it. Sheena's already reading it. Ayano's already reading it. And we'll talk about it next week. Okay?
Yes.
Cassie, did you want to say anything else to the ladies before we go? Because it's already 10 after 12.
Right. I really enjoyed talking with all of you. It's been a lovely opportunity, and I think you're all amazing people. So I'm very happy to have been part of all of this, and I hope that we can all continue to support each other.
Yep.
From now on as well. So thank you for having me, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your classes with Jose, and I know that good things will come to you, even if they take time, and basically every fun thing in 2020 has been canceled. Good things will come.
Jiomi, a little something for Cassie. Did you want to say anything for her?
Oh, I'm so appreciate to join our classes. Yes, I'm really happy to hear your situation too and your opinion, and your advice is so nice.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, I will try.
Sheena?
I this time I talk about me a lot and maybe she thought I'm weird because
You're
this
not.
is the second time to see to
No.
No, I was asking you questions. That's why you had to answer them. It wasn't you. It was me. And everybody knows I'm weird, so that's okay.
Okay, I feel relief now, but this is I feel happy to see through we and Cassie met through Jose, Mr. Cruz.
Mr. There you go.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. No,
Mr.
See,
Cruz.
she's allowed to call me Jose. You girls still have to call me Mr. Cruz.
Okay, so we met through Mr. Cruz. So this is the good. I felt this is a good time to see each other, and I really happy to see you.
Thank you. You too. And don't listen to him. You're not weird.
I didn't say I said she's not weird. I said I'm weird.
You said for liking exam.
Oh,
week.
for that. Oh, then that is weird. I'm not retracting that. That's weird. Okay, Ayano.
special.
Weird.
Thank you for giving me your advice. And my hobby is cycling, and it made me very happy. So
Oh,
I
awesome.
just keep doing that, my hobby. And yeah, thank you.
Wow, thanks for sharing. That is so cool. I'm also a worrywart, by the way. They say worrywart. So, but I just have to remind myself, you know, this is an unusual time, and so good things will come. So we all have to be patient, stay happy and safe and healthy.
That's a good note.
This is happy
for us.
class.
That's
happy
right. This is
Yeah,
happy
happy
class.
class.
That's a good note to for us to call it an afternoon, because it's actually afternoon. It is now 12:12. And Cassie, thank you very, very much for
Thank you.
coming to visit.
Oh, this is lovely.
And I'm sure that Dave is going to be very happy that someone so able took his place for today's podcast recording. Nina, you're not here, but Nina, I hope you're traveling safely with your family. And Sheena and Ayano and Chiomi, thank you very much for letting me do this with you. I think a lot of the things that you said, the teachers that watch this podcast are going to learn quite a few things. And thank you very much. And I guess I'll see you on Tuesday when we come back together and study again. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, everybody, wave to the camera. Bye-bye.